Hello Capricorn, welcome to your weekly reading here on Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If you're watching this reading was meant to find you. Please hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. Now this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Capricorn, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. 7 of Swords. You're someone, I think a lot of people come to you for advice, you know. I think you're somebody that has very strong opinions about things, and I think it takes a lot for you to change your opinion about things that you truly believe in. You're a little bit of a skeptic, and I mean that in a very good way, because it tells me that you're not gullible, you know. That if there's some piece of information, some idea that speaks to you, that resonates with you, I don't think you just blindly accept it. You investigate it, you research it, or you try to experience it yourself. Yeah. And I think that you're somebody that can handle criticism very well. I think you use it constructively. And I feel like we've had this energy recently. I don't know if was the last reading we did for you. Was it also? Maybe. I don't know. I feel like this is a common thing. I feel like you're sort of used to the criticism. I feel like you probably grew up in a life, in a home that was sort of critical, you know. So you sort of learned how to tolerate it. You learned, I think, how to use it as strength, as, you know, constructive criticism, but also as fuel. You know, if people are criticizing you or telling you can't do something, you say, oh yeah, want to bet? Watch me go, you know. I think you're somebody who really does like, you like the rabbit holes, you know. You like to sort of have a general course to your life. You like the main central quest. You like the little side quests too. You know, when you're playing one of these role-playing games, you know, you got this larger quest, this larger story. There's all these little adventures and little things to do along the way. And I think that has turned you into a very rich person with a wealth of experience and a lot of ideas, a lot of opinions. And not just sort of random fly-by-night opinions or ideas, but things that you've really thought through. Yeah. I like this card sometimes. Let's put it into a little bit of context, shall we? We're going to use our Dove and Serpent spread. This is a card called Futility, okay? And the basic meaning, I feel, is that no matter what we do, we're never going to really know the absolute essential truth of anything. All we really have, it's kind of a card that's implying anyway, I don't know the philosophical validity of this, implying that there are no facts. Everything is opinion. Okay? And so this, I think, is a great way to sort of order our lives into, it's a great working kind of energy. Because if everything is an opinion, then the facts of, you know, you can't do that thing, or it's, there is this, something set in stone. No, nothing is. Everything is open to interpretation. And depending on how we look at it, we can use everything as energy, as motivation. Or, of course, it can impede us. You know, as the whole Matrix, had you been the spoon? Well, you realize there is no spoon. Yeah. Well, let's take a look around some more cards here. 3 of Pentacles. Wheel of Fortune. The Art or Temperance card, and your Knight of Pentacles. That is one of the Capricorn superpower cards. The Knight of Pentacles, a cardinal earth energy. And of course your opposite sign, the Cancer energy. And I think having that, the union of opposites in you is very important. We see that over here too with the art card. If there is anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Okay, now let's finish up. Let's do the rest of our cards here. We have a Knight of Cups, a Queen of Cups, a Ten of Wands, a Five of Swords, and an Ace of Cups. I think you really are discovering your happiness here. I think that this is, wow, this is something, I think this is something that's going to surprise you. I really do. Let's select our mystery card. I want to get into these cards so bad. Okay, mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. We're going to set it down right here with our little sea turtle friend right on top. And now we're not going to look at that card till the end, right? But it will tie everything together and give us our confirmation. If you have a prediction, put it in the comments. Let's take a look around the room. Yeah, let's get into it. We've got major, major, major. You're sort of being cradled by this divine energy. Okay, your life is being supported right now by the divine. Okay, we've got fire. We've got our water. And the water energy really is kind of this: seek and you shall find. Go down into the depths of your soul and you will discover your purpose, you know. And I think it really is saying that, look, if you can get a good idea of what it is you want in life, Spirit is going to assist you in manifesting that. That which you desire is going to appear before you. Okay. And so we've got also our air energy. And then we've got a little bit of earth, not too much earth. Just enough, I think. And so our Three of Pentacles, I think you just started a new project or a new path or a new research or a new hobby, a new investigation based on one of these kind of beliefs, right? This is like, it's like you just started on a new rabbit hole kind of thing. You just started a new sort of mountain to climb. Maybe you're learning a new skill, researching something new, a new idea, a new subject, right? A new quest, new side quest. Maybe you started a new job, okay? But with the Three of Pentacles here, I feel like you're getting the ball rolling in something. Something new, yeah. Something that maybe we don't know exactly how it's going to end yet or what the results are going to be, but that's not really the concern. I think that you enjoy the work, you enjoy the research, you enjoy the learning, the investigation, you enjoy digging through that rabbit hole. Yeah. And so I feel like you're engaged in some work right now. You're beginning some new work that is satisfying in some way. And when I say work, I don't mean a job necessarily, but you're burning calories doing something. It's whatever you're focused on right now. Okay. And I think that it is something that is intuitively realized for you. It's part of an overall larger quest, but it's one of these side quests. And I think it just sort of happened, you know. It wasn't something that you woke up one morning and said, okay, now today's the day I'm going to start doing this. I think it just sort of crossed your path. And you said, oh yeah, sure, don't mind if I do, you know. And now we're here. Because the Three of Pentacles is the card of work. Okay. It's the card of putting in work towards something. Really, it doesn't even matter what it's toward, it's just putting in work. You know, doing the work. And I wonder if even in your life you don't so much care about the results. It's the process that you like. Yeah. This card is saying that you understand the process of creation on the physical plane. And when you get sort of mentally or intellectually absorbed in something, you give it everything you've got. Right? I wonder if this is you learning a new skill or a new subject. I almost feel like it's a study. It's a research. It's not just, you're not just reading a book, but you're immersing yourself in something new. To learn it, to experience, to make it a part of you. Yeah. I like this. Wheel of Fortune energy underneath. This, I think, this is your sense of serendipity. This is, I think that you're someone who has experienced a lot of weird synchronicities in life, you know. I think that when something crosses your path in a particular way, you think, okay, this is kismet, you know, this is meant to be. This is something Spirit has put in my path, and you dive right in. Despite the criticism, despite whatever else is going on in your life, it's like you get that kind of, you hear the call, you answer the call. And I think you're somebody that really does trust in the divine. You trust in divine timing. I think you have faith that if something has crossed your path, there is a reason why it is there. I think in your life you've experienced a lot of occasions where, okay, that was too weird to be a coincidence, you know? And maybe the way you started your jobs or certain things in your childhood have just sort of happened in a very weird way. It's almost like there's just this weird element of luck or serendipity. We know that is the hand of Spirit, right? But this energy is within you. It is this inner knowing that you have. This is kind of a foundation. This is like a bedrock energy for you. The faith, the hope, the trust in the divine timing of things. So if something crosses your path, you think, okay, this is meant to be here. And then you figure it out. You put in the work. You do what you got to do to follow through. You accept that side quest. Okay, and maybe maybe it really is, you know, this idea of the main quest versus the side quest. Maybe it's all main quest, you know, and maybe your life is meant to sort of branch out, because this feels like something branching out. It feels like we have this straight and narrow path before us, but there's all these other just sort of really wonderful detours, wonderful sights to see along the way, you know? And I think you really trust in that. And I think that's what the Wheel of Fortune card is here. I think also that you know that you're meant for really great things. And I think that in all of these activities and efforts of yours, your life is genuinely expanding. I think that your knowledge of the world is growing all the time. Well, because of your interest, because you hear the call, you answer the call, and you're diving in one rabbit hole after the other. And I think because of that, your life and your sense of self and the richness of your life is always growing and expanding in a very genuine way. I think that you are probably a very interesting person to talk to, you know. And I think that you could probably talk about any subject. You have some reference point for just about everything, you know. And I really do like that. I think that really makes it really makes for a depth of character. Yeah. But I feel like your faith is very important to you. And maybe not in a religious sense, but in the sense of trying to listen to the universe and be in harmony with the flow of that universe. Having that faith and hope and trust in the divine timing and the divine order of things. So when something crosses your path, you think, okay, this is meant for me, and I must engage with it, learn the lesson, and maybe it's something crosses your path and you say you got to hurry up and get it out of there. But generally, I think that you accept what Spirit provides for you, and you understand that kind of everything that does cross our path is a gift in one way or another. And that leads us to our Temperance card. I think that you're recently getting out of a very high pressure situation. The Art or Temperance card is a pressure cooker. Okay, it is a situation that I kind of feel like you were here willingly. At least I hope. Maybe you didn't know it was going to be so challenging, but you agreed to go here, be here, and be in this situation, whether it was a relationship or a work thing, or a boot camp, or a training of some kind, or learning a very challenging sport or martial art, or maybe just sort of the last rabbit hole that you went down. I think it really changed you. I think it was a high pressure, high stakes, difficult, challenging situation. You were in the kitchen. You were in the pressure cooker. You were in the fire. Okay. And this is this is a Sagittarius energy. It could be that you recently have left a Sagittarius person, or there's the indication that this Sagittarius person is behind you. I don't think behind you in a supportive way. I think they're in the rearview mirror now. But it was still a situation that changed you. And that I think you can, if you're honest, you can appreciate the situation, because it helped you to really grow into yourself and learn who you are just a little bit more. And this may be something that, again, if things cross your path, you may be very glad that this thing's gone, because it was very challenging, right? Glad that this thing is gone, but also thankful to Spirit that this was part of your path and you were meant to go through this, and it's changed who you are. And so I think you're able to see the benefit of the challenges that you've had in life. And this, I think, is just the representative of the last one. I think you've been through a lot of different side quests. Some have been more challenging than others. Yeah. This is one that transformed you. This is a situation where you had to really do some inner alchemy. Okay. And I think that it's helped you to get a different perspective on life in a way. Now we go up here with our Knight of Pentacles. And the Knight of Pentacles is, again, it's your superpower card. It's sort of the Capricorn energy in motion, in action. This is somebody that can look at the mountain before them and think, I'm going to climb this SOB. But how? Because this card's not moving yet. This card is looking at the mountain and can see the obstacle before them, or can even maybe see the goal, can see the summit of the mountain perhaps. And is trying to figure out how to get started, how to set about doing this thing. I think you're somebody with a vision. You know the quest that's before you. You know the challenges that await you. Okay? And I think maybe right now we're in this period of trying to figure out exactly the right way to get started with something, because the Three of Pentacles is still something that is in potential form, right? It could be that we're getting started with something here and we're still in a little bit of the planning phases, perhaps, right? Because in your energy here, you're someone that can look at a problem, look at a mountain, and break it down into, an easier to manage sort of series of challenges, right? sort of break the big goal, we can break it down into little chunks. But you're somebody, I think, with a very clear vision of the future. You see your destination. You know who you're going to be, where you're going to be, and what you're going to be doing in the future. You got long-term plans. And I think that this is, because this is at the top of the path of the dove, see, I think this is something that you're actively involved with now. As we are thinking of this new quest, I think that you are, you're trying to understand the how and why of this quest. Because again, Spirit puts things in your path, you accept it, you do what needs to be done, and there's a sense of trusting in Spirit, right? But that doesn't mean we know what we're supposed to do with this thing. Something crosses your path and you have it and you say, okay, now what? I know this is meant for me, but what the heck am I supposed to do with it? Spirit's put you in front of this mountain and you think, okay, what am I supposed to do? Right? So we start looking at the future and think, okay, with this particular path I'm on now, this quest, what is the end result? Who am I going to be? Where am I going to be? What am I going to be doing at the end of it? Okay? And I think with that, we have to use our own judgment, our own discernment, to understand if this is something I'm meant to keep in my life, if this is something that is I'm supposed to make it a part of me and stay on this course and see it through till the end, or if this is something maybe short-term, something I'm just supposed to learn from now and get it gone, right, as soon as possible. So by looking at the future, looking at the sort of the natural progression of something, say, okay, if I climb this mountain, get to the summit, what is that going to do for who am I going to be, right? And it's kind of, this is really the card of karma, because this is the card that is our awareness that every thought, word, and deed in the present moment is creating who we're going to be, where we're going to be, what we're going to be doing in the future. Okay? So the decisions right now affect who we will become. And we have to know who we want to become. And then we can make the decision, okay, is this what Spirit wants me to become? Is this who I want to become? Or is this obviously something that I'm being told to look at and interact with so I know what I'm not supposed to become? You know? And so we think of sort of we're getting rid of things from our lives. These things are not meant for me. Well, it is meant for you because you're in that position where you've got to decide what to do with it, right? And then sometimes it is, this is meant for me to absorb, to make it a part of me, to see it through and become that person. Or this is something that's meant for me to quickly dispose of, quickly get rid of, distance myself from, because I don't want that to be my karma, to become that person. You see? So everything that's in your life is meant to be there. But for how long? And in what capacity? That's where our human will and discernment needs to kick in. Okay? And I think you're somebody that knows that. You understand how all of your decisions right now, well, everything in your life is meant to be there. Okay? You've got to look at the long term to see if something needs to be in your life for a long time or if it needs to go right away. And that's the free will, right? Now, our Chariot card in the future position, it's a Cancer energy, right? It's I think it's you learning to integrate this this sort of almost a hidden part of yourself. Okay, I think that whatever this situation is, it's going to lead you further down a rabbit hole than you've ever been. It's going to really surprise you, I think, in how this thing progresses. I feel like this may even be talking about a new, well, I think it's talking about travel, but it may be talking about a new home or a new living situation, okay? It may or may not involve a Cancer person, but I do feel like it's something that really is going to surprise you, because it is that hidden part of yourself. It's like, oh, wow, I didn't know you were there. You know, because Capricorn and Cancer are at opposite ends of the wheel of the zodiac, right? In opposition. And so whatever this Cancer energy is that's appearing before you is something that sort of goes against what you're consciously thinking and feeling, or consciously expecting, okay? It's going to be an opposite, right? And I think when you recognize that, you can think, wow, this is like the opposite of what I thought I wanted, or the opposite of the path I thought I was on, or the opposite of what I consciously sort of have assumed my life was going to be. I mean, a big surprise. Yeah. I think it's going to surprise you, because it's like, you really do, if you're honest, I think you really do feel like, I want this thing. And that's kind of surprising, like if I'm falling in love with this. And it doesn't seem kind of in the norm for you. Okay, I think it's going to be very surprising to you. And I do feel it's going to lead to travel or a new home, new living situation. Okay. Now, as we talk about the path of the serpent, I would like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It's free, supports the channel. Smash the like button, subscribe. I appreciate that. Yeah. The Queen of Cups is the emotional transparency. You're somebody who can and needs to be very honest with themselves. You really need to have a kind of radical self-honesty, radical self-love, radical self-care. Lift the veil. This is that emotional transparency with ourselves. We have to be very honest about what we truly want and how we truly feel about things. And this is part of what the Knight of Pentacles has to do in order to determine if something is really meant for us. Okay? In other words, when we're experiencing something new like this, and the Knight of Pentacles is looking at the future and thinking, who am I going to be? Where am I going to be? What am I going to be doing? We tend to, over time, get a little bit of a bias there. And if we have something that Spirit sends to us, and we think, well, this doesn't conform to what I feel is my long-term plan, so therefore, this thing needs to pass by quickly, right? We get into such a groove there that we're sort of missing the point of the exercise, you know? That we have such a fixed vision of ourselves and who we're going to be, and then therefore we're judging everything that comes our way in terms of that vision. But the Queen of Cups here is saying, let's not do that. Let's really take everything on a case-by-case basis and really feel it, and really ask ourselves, be very honest with ourselves, if this is something that I really want and need? Is this something that is going to lead me to who I'm going to be, where I'm going to be, what I'm going to be doing in the future, and how is that going to be different than what I was expecting? That's why it's kind of the surprise, right? It's kind of like, wow, this is something wasn't conforming to my previous vision of my future. But now I realize that my future, who I am, all that stuff, right? Where I am, what I'm doing, isn't set in stone, right? We should know that. It's very fluid. It changes. It's open-ended. It's very malleable. And what we really have to do is not judge everything based on that fixed vision, but judge everything based on how we really truly feel about it, right? And even if the future self is going to be different, ask ourselves, is this a positive difference? Is this good for me? Is this going to lead to my happiness? So we're sort of judging things on a different with different criteria now, you know. And it really requires us to be intensely honest with how we feel about things. Especially when we get this surprise sort of chariot energy. Because it may, at first glance, it may not conform to our fixed vision. It may surprise you as something opposite of what you, in your Knight of Pentacles, opposite what you wanted or what you thought your life was going to be, or this particular future you thought that you were working toward. And we might chuck it right out the window before realizing how truly important it is. When we're surprised by something and we feel that it is contrary to what I feel is my nature, I may sweep it aside very quickly and not realize, wow, how kind of throwing the baby out with the bathwater here, you know. So that's the Queen of Cups here. And the 10, of course, the 10 of Wands, is your, in some ways, it's your haste, right? It is a very fiery, and it's the extreme of the fire energy. And I think that there is a particular opposition in that card. And it kind of is, because of its Saturn in Sagittarius energy, it connects us back here with this Sagittarius card, which may be a Sagittarius person. Because it may be really something that we have, because of our past, we have a sort of bias against it. And when this energy comes in, I feel like it's going to kind of provoke a really big reaction in you. We have to let that reaction subside, because we get that really big reaction and then we sort of act impulsively on it. That's some of your cardinal earth devil energy, right, coming through. And then we sweep it aside, or we have a reaction against it, and it influences our behavior. But what we really have to do is let this reaction calm down. And I think that it may even feel as if this is too much, right? We get this 10 of Wands, very heavy energy. It feels like a weight on our shoulders. It may be too much responsibility. It may feel like it's a project that is just too big, don't want to do it. It may even though we feel as if we like who this is going to help us become, it seems overwhelmingly difficult to do. It seems it's too big. It feels like we're biting off more than we can chew. Okay. But this card is in terms of your relationships. And I feel like Spirit is placing this particular energy in your path because it is exactly the help you need right now. It's exactly what you need in your life. And when we say it's the help that you need, it's not saying that you're involved in something that you can't handle. And so you need somebody else to help you carry the groceries in the house, you know. It's not that you're incapable and you need help. But this is the idea that it's the right interaction that's going to challenge us in the right ways. And I think that this, ultimately, if you're honest with yourself, you realize that you want and need that. It's stimulation. It's somebody that's going to challenge us. It's not somebody that's just going to go along with everything we say. And it's like toward the beginning of the reading, I said, you sort of like the criticism. You've learned how to use that because it helps you grow. It helps you learn, motivates you. This is somebody now that's like challenging us, and it's probably pretty irritating. It's like you're going to a gym with your buddy and they're just like, they're yelling at you, and you're just like, I don't like that. But this is someone that is going to challenge us in the right way. Again, it's that Cancer, Capricorn opposition. It's going to feel like this person is very different than you. And maybe that rubs you the wrong way, right? Maybe it irritates you. Maybe it feels like this relationship is way too much trouble. It feels like Spirit knows that you need that. You need that challenge. You need something to push against to continue growing. And so I think that even though there's maybe an initial aversion or rejection of this energy, it is what you need. Okay, this is sort of, you're going to the gym with your buddy. It's an accountability thing. It's two people in a relationship that do challenge each other, right? For mutual benefit and growth. I can't help but think of that Alanis Morissette song. What is that song? Challenge each other. That's one of the lyrics. I can't think of the song. Anyway, maybe it'll come to me later. But I feel like this is what we want. And this is what we need. If we are honest with ourselves, we don't want relationships that are just smooth, go with the flow, everybody agrees, there's nothing, And maybe we like that most of the time. We like that at work and with our friends. We just kind of want peace. We want easygoing stuff. But truly, deeply, what we need is something that's going to empower us, encourage us, and really get on our butts about being better, doing better, and getting to this future that we want to get to, that we need to get to, becoming the person we wish to become, right? And I think that this is sort of part of the motivation. This is a little bit of the catalyst for becoming who we're going to be, where we're going to be, what we're going to be doing long term. We need some sort of irritant. We need a little grain of sand in the oyster to create the pearl, And so I think in this particular relationship, this is going to be somebody that's going to challenge you. Now, they may be a Cancer person. They may not be a Cancer person. I think the Cancer energy here is to say that, look, you're making progress in a very unexpected and surprising way, going down a path that you maybe never expected for yourself. This may completely surprise you, but I think it's going to help you become who you need to become. It's going to be challenging. This is a little bit of that sort of friendly competition where we both grow. This is like you're running a race with your best friend, and they want to win, so you better run fast, And it's kind of it's friendly competition in a way, but it's kind of like saying we're in this together, right? It's two against the world. It's kind of saying if we do this together, we're going to be able to accomplish more. We're going to be stronger. We're going to, it's going to be good. Yeah. But 5 of Swords. The competition in a sort of not so productive or healthy way, right? 5 of Swords. This is in the position of what we don't want. This is the river card. This is the difficulty. This is the great river over which we must cross. And it's the card of defeat. It's the card of really, truly getting into that really kind of nasty competition where it's not for growth. It's not for mutual love and affect. We're just fighting and arguing, and it's devolving. That 10 of Wands is now devolving into just animosity and just competition, right? For its own sake, just to dominate somebody else, right? And this is, we've got to avoid this or get over this or get through this, because this is sometimes like, I really don't like that person. This is when we really feel as if we start to hate our best friend, And it just sort of, what started out as this mutual accountability and keeping each other motivated and competing and pushing each other, in a sort of healthy way, has devolved now into just despising each other and just fighting and arguing and pushing against each other back and forth, really out of frustration, right? So we got to be careful that this doesn't end up ruining the relationship. And I think that if we can get past this, what we end up with is real blessing, real love, right? Real joy. And this is that holy grail. This kind of feels like we're completing our quest, And it may be that the knight is on doing all these side quests and has sort of forgotten even what the main quest was supposed to be. the true sense of purpose here. Feeling really connected with Source. And I think if this is a friendship, this is a business person, this is a personal trainer, whatever this is, if we can get over that Five of Swords, just being being averse to it, rejecting it, feeling as if this is wrong, this isn't right, I don't like it. Getting over that Five of Swords, I think we're really going to find the benefit of this, the blessing that's here. Okay? And I think it's really going to it's going to do wonders. It's going to unify you, first of all, both these two sides of yourself. I think you're going to have a spiritual experience through this. And it doesn't have to be like a romantic thing. It maybe isn't even a best friend. It may not even really be a particular person. It just could be in the course of this rabbit hole. You realize that this is challenging you like you've never been challenged before. And if you can get over the sort of the rejection or the anger of that, the sort of just the Five of Swords, if we can get over that, I think we're really going to find the benefit of this path. And it's going to be a very surprising thing. I do think it's taken the form of a person. These things usually do. So when it appears, you're going to have this initial aversion, rejection to it. But it's going to be the best thing for you. And that Five of Swords is what we have to overcome. And the way we overcome that is to put Spirit back on top. Let Spirit take the wheel. Realize this person, this situation, whatever it is here for a reason. And I may have this initial shock and this initial opposition to it and this initial rejection of it. Spirit has put this here for a reason for you. And you've got to dig deep to understand that reason. Is leading you to your unification and your connection with Source, a deeper connection with your purpose, even if it feels mighty challenging. We gotta let Spirit take the wheel. Let's look at our mystery card. This really could be a card of union. It could be a card of of discernment. Could be, of course, your devil energy. If you have a prediction for this card, please put it in the comments. Let's see what we have. Three of Pentacles. Three of Pentacles is kind of this card of cooperation, right? Now we got a Six of Pentacles. 3 and a 3, right? 6. So we have success. We have this is now the right partnership, that we're realizing that, hey, this is stunning. This is absolutely perfect union, right? Of these contrary things, of these oppositions. It's now a perfect union. It's a 3 and a 3 coming together, working in harmony. This is sort of about ourselves, our souls. The Capricorn, Cancer energy, both halves of you. Your conscious self and your hidden self coming together as one in this unity of love. Could be a soulmate, twin flame situation as well. But there's cooperation here. There are these, everybody's working toward the same goal. Everybody's working together. Very good confirmation card. This is really about that cooperation within ourselves and with this other entity, this other force, which I do believe is a person. Anyway, it might be that they're another Sagittarius person. Okay, because there's this connection with this last thing, and I think this is why you feel an aversion to it, because in some way it kind of reminds you of this, whatever this was that just ended. But it's not the same thing. Okay, but I think our initial reaction is, oh no, not that again. Okay, but there's cooperation here. I like this very much. We're going to do an extended reading if you want to stick around. There's a link up top. There's one down below. Okay, in the video description. New readings for Capricorn Thursdays and Sundays. Be sure to watch both readings. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It is totally free. It doesn't cost anything. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.